Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you want to skip right to like the X Factors and whatnot, skip like 30 seconds ahead. I have some stuff to plug. So tonight, I sometimes just in general I stream on Dom2K's Playback channel. Playback is a streaming platform where you can watch games with people. It's like a watch party sort of deal, you know. So if you want to stop by that tonight, I'll be watching Nuggets Spurs. So if you want to watch that with me, I'll leave a link in the description. You can just click on that and watch it with me when that comes along. I also do some X's and O's stuff and occasionally like Kahoots and whatnot with the chat. So if you're interested in that, click below. Anyways, so now that you've skipped 30 seconds, we're back. Welcome to the Eastern X Factor show, the one that I've been making or planning on making for like a week at this point. So let's just hop right into it. The Celtics, right? In my mind, the X Factor is going to be Drew Holiday because that man is either pretty good in the playoffs or really bad in the playoffs, and there's not much in between. Like if you look at his time in Milwaukee, he was obviously a good defender. No one will take that away from him. But over his 3 playoff runs with them, which spanned to 40 games, he averaged 18 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, which doesn't look bad on paper, but then you look at his efficiency and realize he shot 39.6% from the field and 30.4% from 3. Now that's pretty bad. And, I mean, he wasn't doing it on low volume either. He was taking 18 shots a game and 6.6 three-pointers a game. So, pretty rough efficiency from him. And I think that he'll have less on his plate now that he's playing in Boston. You know, he's not the 3rd option. He is more the 5th option, 6th option, even on some nights, depending on, you know, is Derek White popping off this game? Is that who we're going to feed the ball to? So, he will have less on his plate, but if he is trying to shoot a lot and he shoots poorly, things can, you know, he can have the Marcus Smart effect where he will shoot them kind of out of some games, potentially. I don't know if that's happened this year. I don't believe it has happened much, but he definitely has in the past shot his team out of some games in the playoffs. And if that were to happen in the postseason for the Celtics, that would not be great. I don't think it would affect them too much in the East because the East, let's be frank here, the East just isn't that good. And if the Celtics lose on the way to the finals, then they have to address some issues. But if they were to meet someone in the West, that could probably cost them a game or two, and at that point, a series. All right, next on the chopping block is the Milwaukee Bucks, who are currently holding the 2 seed, but by the end of the season might be anywhere from the 2 to I think the 4 seed, and maybe the 5 seed. The East is really close. Everywhere is really close. The end of the season actually matters, and that's fun this season. Anyways, so the Milwaukee Bucks is obviously going to be Dame, in my opinion, because he was supposed to be the Kobe to Giannis's Shaq, and so far it looks like McQueen is fading. He's been more the Mo Williams to Giannis's LeBron. Not that he hasn't. I feel like that's a little disrespectful, but you know, it's a fun bit. So he has been pretty inefficient this season. He is shooting 36% from 3, which is 28th percentile among guards. He's shooting 39% from mid, which is 28th percentile among guards. And he is only shooting 61% at the rim, which is 56th percentile for guards. It's not like the worst in the world, but, you know, it could be better. And all that adds up to only 51.4 effective field goal percentage, which is not good. It is 35th percentile. So, if he turns into Dame of years past in the playoffs, I could see the Bucks making a run. If he keeps playing like this, I could see them being a first round out to the Sixers or the Heat. I wouldn't bet on them being a first round out, but I could definitely see it, especially considering what happened last season. So, you know, he's a big swing factor for them. He's like a swing state in an electoral election. And we're going to see whether a good guy gets elected or a bad guy gets elected. Pretend like there's good guys that get elected for this analogy. For the Knicks, who are currently situated at the 3 seed, let's go with Deuce McBride, someone who has started for them over, you know, some games and has come off the bench for some games, but either way is playing a lot of minutes most of the time. Over the last 29 games, he is averaging 30.5 minutes per game, and in those minutes is putting up 12 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists on 45, 39, 90 splits. So he's been pretty good, pretty efficient. And, I mean, in years past, he was a really inefficient guard, but also, as my friend Alex Hoops likes to cite a lot, a Kyle Kuzma quote is, "It's hard to be consistent in an inconsistent role." And this is the first year where he's had like consistent playing time. And Julius Randle going out, they're going to need some extra offensive firepower to step up, right? And maybe Deuce McBride is that. I think Dante DiVincenzo is going to be more of the person who absorbs most of that offensive responsibility, but Deuce McBride will probably have to step in, create some own shots, knock down the open jumpers he gets, because, I mean, you're going to help off of someone to double Jalen Brunson in the playoffs, most likely. And I think that person will probably be Deuce McBride at some points. Can he knock down those threes? Probably. We'll see. And also his defense, is going to be important. He's a good defender. So just as long as he plays well, I think the Knicks have a solid shot of actually making a run, because I think that without Julius Randle, they might be better, because Julius Randle really shits the bed in the playoffs typically. But, we'll see. Now on to the 4th seed, the Cavaliers. They have had a very Weenie Hut Jr.-esque season after the All-Star break. They are under 500 from what I remember, and they have not looked good since they got injured a lot, and then those guys came back, and then they haven't been as good. I'm going to go with Darius Garland here. I don't think that the Cavs are going to win a series. I think right now they're supposed to play the Magic if the season were to end today. They'd lose that series, I think. They'd lose a series to the Knicks. I think they'd lose to the Pacers. I think they'd lose to the Bucks. I think that unless they somehow get up to the 2 seed or the 3 seed and get lucky with who gets in the 6 seed, I think they're looking at a first round out. And Donovan Mitchell probably also out this offseason, because they allegedly are considering trading him if he does not want to sign a contract extension, and I don't think he does. Darius Garland, you are on the stage, my man, because you have not been too good this season, and people know that you're capable of more, right? He's someone who is definitely better than he has played this season. Can he somewhat bring that back in the postseason? Can he have a hurrah? Can he start knocking down his threes at a higher clip than 36.5%? Can he get back to the 44% or something from last season? Who knows? We'll see. Can he facilitate better? Can he get Evan Mobley and Jared Allen to look like good bigs in the postseason? Because they are good bigs. They are. I think that. Maybe it's Stockholm Syndrome, but I think that the Cavs can be good. But Darius Garland unlocks a lot of that with his passing, with his facilitating. He needs to be a good secondary shot creator next to Donovan Mitchell. He needs to provide outlets for the offense to really thrive in. So that is who I pick for the Cavs. Magic. Not Wizards. Sorry, I've been playing Baldur's Gate. Magic, Wizard, Anyway, so you guys in Orlando, who am I picking for you? I'm picking John Isaac, because that guy is a great defender, right? He is pretty phenomenal on the defensive end. Top 10 defender in the league, maybe, somewhere around that range. Can he play in the postseason? Right now he's only playing 15 minutes a game. Can he take that minute load in the playoffs without being played off the floor because of being a non-factor offensively? Sure, this season he's shooting 52, 39, 71 splits, but that's on relatively low volume. And I will mention, he has only played one postseason series, and it was back in 2018-19. So don't take this too seriously, right? That was his second year. But he did shoot 27.5% from the field, 20% from 3, and 87% from the line. So, hey, at least he was knocking down his free throws. Can he really provide what the Magic need from him, which is just lockdown defense for 15 minutes a game? Or is he someone who gets played off the floor a la Andre Roberson, right? A la Tony Allen. I don't know. That was before my time. But, someone like that. Can he provide offensive juice to just stay on the floor? If he can, that's fantastic for the Magic. If he can't, that's rough for the Magic. Hot take, I know. Indiana Pacers, come on down. Claim your prize. Your prize is me telling you that your X Factor this postseason is going to be Tyrese Halliburton. I've noticed a trend in my picks of most of them being point guards who have kind of been inefficient this season. Halliburton kind of fits that. Overall on the season he's been efficient, but since the All-Star break he has not looked like himself because of the hamstring injury. He's a better player than he has shown post All-Star break. He's a really good player when healthy. But hamstrings are kind of a bitch to deal with. They don't heal too well most of the time, especially during the season. So the fact that he's even playing is kind of a testament to, how much he wants to be out there. But since the All-Star break, he has averaged 17.5 points, 9.5 assists on 44.5 from the field, 30.4 from three, 86.6 from the line. He has kind of been down. He has not been as good as he could have been since then. And his team has kind of struggled for it. They haven't looked as good. Obviously, if your best player is not playing up to their usual standard, it will not look as great. However, in the last 11 or so games, he has started to turn it around a little bit, averaging 19.5 points, 8.8 assists, but he's doing it on 47.8, 40.2, 82.9 splits. He's getting to the line a little more. He's knocking down his threes again, and that obviously leads to a higher field goal percentage. So if he can bring what he's been doing lately into the postseason, I think that the Pacers are in a far better position than we thought they would be at like mid-March, right? Because we were like, oh, Hallie is not himself right now. Pacers are like a first round out easy, like he normally is. And they go up against like the Cavs. I think they might be able to make the second round. So that is who I'm picking as the Pacers X Factor. The 7th seed is the Sixers, and I think that their X Factor is pretty evident. It's just Joel Embiid's health. If he's healthy, they're a really good team. If he's not, they're a bad team. Embiid would have been the MVP this season if he didn't get hurt. He was like far and away the leader in that race, and now it's one of Jokic or Luka. So either of those two, if they win, it would have been Embiid's award had he been healthy, right? And I say that as a Nuggets fan. So Nuggets fans, leave a comment telling me how wrong I am, actually. Tell me why Jokic would have been the MVP anyway. Algorithm engagement, baby. But Embiid, if he's healthy, he's a great player, and sure, he takes a drop in the playoffs, but obviously the Sixers are better with him, right? And if he's healthy, they might be able to beat a Bucks or a Magic in a postseason series, in a playoff series. And if he's not, then the Sixers get swept. That's really it. For the Miami Heat, it is, can they do voodoo again? Can they have the black magic thing that they do every postseason, where sometimes we see them not be able to do it, and that's how you get swept by the Bucks in the first round, I think that was, or the second round, something like that. They got, mollywopped by the Bucks in, I think, 2021, maybe 2022, one of the two. And if they make a deep run, it's because Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, and Max Strus all shoot like 60% from three, and, Jimmy Butler turns into prime Michael Jordan. Can they do that again? If they can, they might be a threat. If they can't, and then, do you guys really care about the Bulls and the Hawks? I can tell you, I guess, for the Bulls, probably just Vucevic. Can he be a serviceable big man in a play-in scenario? And for the Hawks, it's, can Trae Young and DeJounte play with each other? Because they look a lot better when one of them is off the floor and the other is on. They've been good with DeJounte without Trae. And I assume the same could be said with Trae and without DeJounte. But, that's a guess for the Bulls and Hawks. But does anyone really care about the Bulls and Hawks? Even Bulls and Hawks fans don't really seem to care about Bulls and Hawks. So that's my Eastern X Factor video. Thanks for clicking. Leave a comment, like,